Hello everyone and thank you for joining us here for News 40 at noon. Today is Tuesday, October 10th. I'm Tommy Modesto. I'm going to send it straight on over to meteorologist Darius Mack for a check of your forecast. Darius, how's it looking out there?
Well, Tommy, it's looking pretty nice out there. We got wall-to-wall sunshine across the region today. That's all associated with an area of high pressure that continues to serve up that sunshine our way. Clear blue skies as we take a look from the WKU farm at the Kentucky Mesonet site there. Temperatures today started off on the chilly side this morning. We now see those numbers into the 60s out there. 64 currently in Bowling Green, and in Scottsville it's 67 there into Glasgow. So generally seeing those numbers into the middle in low 60s out there, and those winds on the light side as we go throughout the day today. This is all light and variable associated with that area of high pressure. Satellite / radar not showing much out there, and that's because, well, high pressure is in control, working to continue to serve up that sunshine our way. I'm going to be tracking warmer temperatures just ahead of my full forecast, plus another big cool down on the way. That all just ahead in your News 40 Weather Authority full forecast. But for now, Tommy, I'll send it back over to you.
Thank you, Darius. Straight to our top story, as we now have new information about one Bowling Green church group that has officially safely left Israel. News 40 has been in contact with senior pastor Adam Shrouds, who is traveling with the group of about 20 people from Broadway United Methodist Church in Bowling Green. Pastor Shrouds says today he and the group safely crossed the border into Jordan and are waiting in a safe place for a flight back to the United States. Shrouds says those plans are not yet known and to please keep the group in your thoughts as they continue to make their way back to Bowling Green. And this update comes as News 40 is also following another church group out of Glasgow who are trying to make their own escape out of Israel. Unfortunately, we have not received an update on this group, and we don't currently have any word as to where they are or if they have been safely moved somewhere else. The last update heard came from the pastor of the church as he took to Facebook on Monday to update everyone back home of their status in such an unforeseen situation.
We are really good. We're stuck in Israel right now, but we're safe, and that really is the most important thing. In the middle of all of this, Israel's defenses are incredible, and we're grateful for all that they're doing here.
Pastor Smith not only leads the River Lake Church in Glasgow, he's also one of the chaplains for the Glasgow Police Department. We spoke to the department on Monday, who said they're ready for everyone's safe return home.
We were able to contact Nick today around 11:30 this morning and just checking on him and asking if there's anything we could do here at the home front while he was gone. He assured us that he was safe over there. They were in the process of trying to make arrangements to get back to the States over here.
Chief Howie asked that everybody keep them in their thoughts and prayers. And Israelis are taking shelter in bunkers as air raid sirens went off early this morning. More than 1,600 people on both sides have since been killed in the surprise Hamas attacks that began on Saturday. The Biden administration says at least 11 Americans are among the dead, and some may be Hamas hostages. We do want to warn you, some of the material in this report is graphic. Natalie Brandt has the latest from Washington.
Newly released dashcam footage shows Hamas gunmen firing at a vehicle fleeing the music festival in the desert Saturday. Militants killed at least 260 young Israeli and foreign partygoers at the rave, while others were taken hostage. Israeli police released video Monday appearing to show its forces rescuing trapped civilians and wounded soldiers under heavy gunfire in southern Israel. Israel continued to bombard Gaza Tuesday in retaliation for Saturday's attack. The Israeli Defense Force says it has hit more than 200 targets. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made clear Israel's response is just beginning.
We will exact a price that will be remembered by them and Israel's other enemies for decades to come.
Last night, Hamas released an audio message threatening to kill a hostage every time Israel bombs Palestinian civilians without warning.
The Biden administration says at least 11 Americans have been killed in the violence so far, and some missing U.S. citizens could be among the hostages.
We have offered assistance in the scope of experts, hostage recovery experts that we'd be willing to have coordinate with Israeli officials.
On Israel's northern border with Lebanon, there have also been deadly exchanges of artillery fire with the Hezbollah militant group. A senior American defense official says the U.S. is deeply concerned about the possibility of that becoming a second front in this conflict. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Back here at home, it has been 6 months since the deadly Old National Bank shooting in Louisville. A 25-year-old bank employee armed with a rifle opened fire at his workplace on April 10th, killing 5 people, including a close friend of Kentucky's Governor Andy Beshear, all while live streaming the attack on Instagram, according to authorities. Police arrived as shots were still being fired inside the Old National Bank and killed the shooter during an exchange of fire. An officer was critically injured during the shootout, but has since been able to go home to continue his journey to recovery. And the Kentucky State Police say a body found in Metcalfe County is linked to a recent missing persons case. 50-year-old John Price of Glasgow was reported missing on September 22nd. His abandoned vehicle was discovered the following day in a rural area of the Center community in Metcalfe County. KSP says Price's body was found Wednesday in Metcalfe County. An investigation into his death is still ongoing, and News 40 will update you as more information becomes available. And in more local news now, 4 sinkholes have been discovered at the construction site of a new training facility for Bowling Green's police and fire departments. Back in May, construction began on the new joint training facility that would be used by Bowling Green's police and fire departments and replace Fire Station number 5 on Porter Pike. During construction, sinkholes were found, causing crews to change the design of the foundation a little bit. This has been a project that has been in the works for almost a decade, so the city is doing its best to keep building on track and mitigate any future issues. News 40 visited the site and got an update on the project.
So what we're doing is we're now going to install the foundation with what are called micro piles, and think of that as stilts. So if you go to the beach and you see a house that's up on stilts, that's what we're going to do here.
Karst is a typical characteristic of the region. He also added that the caves of the region are beautiful, of course. They're just something that we have to work around. And Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman is in Bowling Green today, kicking off the 4-part project for our public schools tour. The Lieutenant Governor will be joined by teachers, public school staff, and more tonight from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. at 1225 State Street. Coleman is on the first public school teachers to serve as a Lieutenant Governor since Martha Lane Collins did in 1983. This event is completely free and open to the public. And if you haven't registered to vote, time is now running out, as today is the last day to register. And city officials say they are hard at work to try and get you ready to cast your ballot. There are many different ways that you can register. For more information on how you can choose your next leader in the upcoming November elections, visit vrsws.sos.ky.gov. There you can check your voter status, poll locations, and early voting requirements. And flu season is finally upon us, and as the weather cools down, some of you may be looking to get your next flu shot and new COVID-19 vaccine. But don't worry about where to go. Med Center has you covered. The flu vaccine is the seasonally updated dose, while the new COVID vaccine is designed to fight the most prevalent strains. Both are recommended by medical professionals of the lower rate of hospitalizations. And when we return, we'll have a look at your Money Watch report and a full check of your forecast. Stick with us.
$95,000 Kentuckians. These are people with jobs, working parents. How does taking health care away make our state better? Cameron is just recycling old Matt Bevin policies. I don't think he understands me, don't think he understands my family. A governor should look after people, not go after their health care. Daniel Cameron is just wrong for Kentucky.
The nursing home made you an important promise. They promised to be a good home for your loved one and to provide professional care in a safe environment. Now the nursing home has broken that promise and you're left searching for answers. Call us at Hughes & Coleman for a free consultation. If your loved one suffered a serious injury or untimely death while in a nursing home, get Hughes & Coleman and get it done. Call 800-800-4600. Standing up for your loved ones is what matters now.
Just rockin' and rollin', baby.
Come back tomorrow.
We got you all fixed up. Got it all fixed up for you, man. Let there be light, ma'am.
Looks like she finally called JB.
Join the WNKY News 40 weather team. Visit WNKY.com to become a weather watcher.
CBS celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month.
Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill.
The competition is on.
This is nerve-wracking.
Do you have what it takes for Jeopardy?
Weeknights at 4:30 on CBS 40.
United Auto Workers Union members are now striking against Mack Trucks after voting down a tentative 5-year contract deal over the weekend. The union says 4,000 workers walked off the job yesterday. This comes nearly a month after the UAW began its strike against select plants run by the big three U.S. automakers. The attack in Israel has prompted major U.S. airlines to suspend flights to and from Tel Aviv. American, United, and Delta all canceled flights after the State Department issued travel advisories for the region. Many airlines in Europe and Asia are also putting flights on hold. And the price of mailing a letter could go up again in the new year. The U.S. Postal Service has filed a notice with regulators on its plan to raise the cost of a stamp from the current 66 cents to 68 cents starting January 21st, 2024. If approved, it would be the 5th price hike since 2021. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jared Hill.
Trick-or-treaters may be experiencing an extra scare this Halloween. A new survey suggests that they may be getting less candy this year due to inflation. Researchers at the sales and marketing group Advantage Solutions surveyed over 1,000 adults. 40% said that inflation will impact their plans to buy candy. Among that group, half said they plan on spending the same amount as last year, but will be buying less of the sweet treats. Roughly 30% said they will be spending less and buying less. But it isn't just inflation that is driving up prices for consumers. Experts say a tight sugar supply will be driving up the cost of candy, as well as cutting into the production of the goods. And the war between Israel and Hamas is raising crude oil prices, and there are growing concern those soaring costs could soon reach gas pumps here in the United States. It comes as drivers are finally seeing slumping prices after a busy summer season. And today's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan has a look at why that relief could be in jeopardy.
An escalating conflict overseas, impacting crude oil prices, rattling global stocks. And raising concerns here at home that prices at U.S. gas pumps could soon soar.
If the theater of war gets expanded from Israel and the Gaza to other parts of the Middle East, you could see some real impact.
While Israel is not a major oil producer, prolonged tensions in the Middle East could trigger global investors in the long term, fearing the conflict could spread further and impact the fragile global economic recovery. And analysts say that's especially worrisome if oil producer Iran becomes actively involved in the conflict.
It really could alter the calculus for oil supplies and prices coming out of that region that exports about 20 million barrels a day to the rest of the world.
As of Monday afternoon, the average price for a gallon of regular gasoline in the United States was $3.70. According to AAA, that's 11 cents below a week ago. Analyst Tom Kloza says despite the war, the impact isn't going to trickle down to consumers right away. And more relief for drivers is actually on the way.
For the next 60 days, you're going to see gasoline prices become much more palatable. You're going to see disinflation for gasoline.
The conflict comes as gas prices in the United States are falling significantly as demand drops off and the industry uses cheaper winter blends to sell to consumers. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
All right, let's bring in meteorologist Darius Macno for a full check of our forecast. And Darius, it really feels like fall out there. It is a beautiful day.
A beautiful day, and it was certainly a chilly morning out there, Tommy.
It was,
I mean, it was definitely a jacket type.
I have my jacket
morning.
on, that is for sure. Yeah.
Temperatures start off in the 30s and 40s out there, but we're seeing those numbers now into the 60s. We should approach the low 70s before we wrap up the day. Here's a look at radar. It's a clean sweep out there, courtesy of high pressure that is working to serve up those clear blue skies our way, and of course the sunshine. So that is why it is looking pretty clean out there with the clean sweep. As far as the view goes, weather views across the region, courtesy of the Kentucky Mesonet sites there, looking there into Monroe County. Gamelia thermometer reading at 66 degrees. WKY Farm thermometer reading at 65. Wall-to-wall sunshine across southern and central Kentucky. Temperatures generally ranging into those middle and upper 60s out there. Currently 69 degrees at the Bowling Green Regional Airport thermometer. Here are those winds, and they are generally light and variable, all associated with that area of high pressure flowing in from the north and west. And what you're going to notice is this area of high pressure is going to eventually slide off towards the east, and we're going to start to see those winds kick in more so from the south as we work our way into Wednesday. So that means we should expect a warming trend on the way as well, along with this ridge pattern that sets up. So we'll get that southwesterly flow, which will really help warm things up for us. In fact, we could expect temperatures into the upper 70s to near 80 for a couple of days this week. But the pattern does turn active as we go throughout the latter part of the week, especially on Friday. Check out those rain chances with temperatures, highs near 80 degrees. Notice by Friday, a high of 78, and then we're dropping down to the 60s by Saturday. And we're going to be watching for, of course, those increased rain chances. So here's these changes that are coming up. We got that warm air that's ushered in from the south ahead of this frontal boundary. As it works its way across the region, we're going to be watching for some shower and perhaps even some storm chances. It looks like late Friday and into Saturday. Big story is the cooler air that follows in behind that. Here's Futurecast as we go throughout the day today. Temperatures will be in the low 70s by this afternoon. We're going to be down into the 60s later this evening. You're going to need that jacket if you plan on being out past about 7 o'clock this evening, or especially past sunset. We go by Wednesday morning. A few passing clouds out there. Temperatures starting off into the 40s. A few passing showers, perhaps. It's a really slight chance for a shower on Wednesday. I think we're going to be pretty dry for the most part. And notice the winds kicking in from the south, and that will really allow those temperatures to warm up. I think it's overcooking with these numbers. I think we'll see those numbers into the upper 70s tomorrow and middle 70s, but nonetheless, it will be a warmer day for your Wednesday. And as we go for your late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning time frame, temperatures actually relatively mild into the 50s to start off by your Thursday morning. Let's check out your 7-day forecast with your weekend always in view. Notice temperatures near 80 on Thursday. We're going to stay near 80 on Friday, watching for those rain chances that will arrive by late Friday and into Saturday. That's going to be courtesy of a cold front that will bring in some windy conditions as well, and some cooler conditions to follow. I mean, from 78 on Friday to 63 on Saturday, and it's possible that we may struggle to even make it into the 60s for highs for a few days into next week as well. Sunday, a high of 59. Monday, a high of 59 degrees as well. Overnight lows down into the 50s and 40s. We'll see some low and middle 40s by Saturday night and early into Sunday morning. Be sure to follow News 40 weather online and on the air, even when the skies are fair. We'll be back with more News 40 at noon, but first, let's wish our friends a very happy birthday in today's Soki's Birthday Club.
It's time, y'all. It's a new season in NYC.
Weekdays at 3 on NBC 40.
Bed sores, broken bones, malnutrition, and dehydration are just some of the warning signs of a nursing home that's not doing what they're supposed to do. If you suspect your loved one is the victim of nursing home neglect, call 800-800-4600.
At Brewster's, we believe life is a celebration. Don't limit yourself to birthdays or holidays. Create a custom cake anytime. Our creamy homemade ice cream catapults the ordinary into the extraordinary. Treat yourself today at Brewster's.
Home is more than a house. Wherever you are in your journey of homeownership, German American Bank is here to support you. Our team of dedicated mortgage loan professionals can help you with lending solutions featuring low or no down payment, assistance for closing costs and improvement projects, or even loans specifically for first-time home buyers. We're here to tell you, homeownership is achievable. German American Bank, member FDIC.
I'm Hugh Trimble.
And the Atomic Ranch Band.
Tune in to hear some folk, some stories, some rock and roll. Hear our newest drummer.
This week on Marquee Backstage.
Check it out.
See you soon.
It's scary amounts of fun.
Is your favorite thing Pennywise the clown? That's my favorite person. It's not terrifying at all.
On the all-new game show.
Is this movie Psycho?
Person, place, or thing.
On WNKY, NBC 40.
I'm Ashley Wilson. Coming up tomorrow on News 40 Sunrise, find out how one local library is celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Plus, discover the details on this year's Haunted Lantern Tours over at the Historic Rail Park and Train Museum. These stories only on News 40 Sunrise.
The nursing home made you an important promise. They promised to be a good home for your loved one and to provide professional care in a safe environment. Now the nursing home has broken that promise and you're left searching for answers. Get Hughes and Coleman and get it done.
It's scary amounts of fun.
Is this movie Psycho?
Person, place, or thing.
On WNKY, NBC 40.
Welcome to the Pie Queen's Pantry. I'm Bree. We're getting into the Halloween season today and making my spooky sprinkled cookies. All right, we're gonna start this recipe out with a simple sugar cookie, or in my kitchen, I love to make brown sugar cookies. So I've got softened, unsalted butter. They're gonna go into the mixer. I've got the paddle attachment on. We're gonna get that in the mixer with the brown sugar and the regular white sugar, because that's really important. You wanna have that all mixed together good before you start adding your eggs and all your flour in. So the easiest thing to do when you're celebrating any holiday is to just grab some sprinkles that match the holiday, and then that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make spooky cookies out of this. So once that's mixed together, we're gonna add our 2 eggs one at a time. Just let them drop in there and incorporate. They don't have to take very long. I've got my salt and baking soda here, and I'm just gonna toss it into my flour. And vanilla next. Just a little splash of that. I always have these measuring spoons, but then I just measure it with my heart. I've got our flour mixture going in. Just keep it running as you put it in, and you can use a guard if you have to. And then once that all comes together, you're gonna have a delicious cookie dough. And then once you have that dough all put together, to make it look like this, the sprinkled cookies all the way around, which is so much fun, you're going to take your balls of cookie dough, and then you're just gonna roll it completely in sprinkles. This is something fun to have the kids help you in the kitchen. And I would love to know what your Halloween traditions are as well. So head over to my social media at thepiequeen_BG and let me know what your family traditions are. I've got these cookies on the cookie sheet, and I'm just gonna space them out about 8 per pan. Get these all on the pan to go in the oven, and then celebrate Halloween with some spooky cookies. Remember, it's not goodbye, it's good pie.
I'm Castasia Haynes, and I've been with ComEd for a little under a year. Being an education major, it trains me to have patience, problem solving, and behavior management, and to work with all sorts of kids.
This job is great for college students. It is a great opportunity to make connections with school personnel and principals and other teachers and that too.
It's important for me as a college student to have a job that is willing to work around my schedule and helping me prepare for the future.
Car wreck? When you get Hughes and Coleman, it can make a big difference. Here's what I mean. Insurance offer, $3,000. Our result, $156,000. Insurance offer, $0. Our result, $385,000. Insurance offer, $300,000. Our result, $1 million. After an accident, if you want to get the money you deserve, get Hughes & Coleman and get it done. Call 800-800-4600.